Good morning, Willie.
Good morning.
Is it mild where you're at?
It is mild. This is weird. This weather really kills me.
I know.
I like the cold. It's been colder longer than it really should be, but I like it. And now, it's going to get really hot today, then it's going to get really cold over the weekend, then it's going to get a little bit warm next week, and then it's going to get kind of cold, then it's going to get a little bit warmer, and then eventually we won't even have spring. It'll just be 90 degrees every day.
You're right. It is going to, today it's going to be, even today, I think the wind's going to blow this afternoon and blow in cooler weather, and the temperature is going to take a nosedive. So, your mother says, that's why everyone's getting so sick. It's this temperature going up and down. We can't depend on a consistent temperature. So there you have it. Okay, so let's throw a few. We have 3 movies, right, that you're reviewing today?
Oh, dear God, yes, we do have 3 of them.
Okay.
Not the greatest week ever. Let's face it, Captain Marvel is still the biggest movie in the land and will be this week again. So there's just 3 kind of middling movies out there.
All right, let's start with Wonder Park. What's it about?
Yeah, Wonder Park is this animated film. It's about this little girl who just totally believes in and loves and dreams of making the greatest amusement park in the history of the world. And, she does this with her mother. She builds little scale models and things like that. And then life gets a little bit tough and tragedy kind of strikes, and now she's not as interested in it anymore until one day the amusement park of her dreams magically comes to life out of nowhere. And she's going to have to learn a lesson in order to leave.
Oh, in order to get out?
Yeah, in order to get out.
What do you think of this? Is it? By the way, is this good for little kids?
I think little kids will enjoy kind of the frantic action, okay? There's lots of animated just craziness and antics. The part that little kids are going to have trouble with is the more emotional moments, the tragedy that's going on. I think that might be a little bit too much for the smaller kids. Adults, I think, will appreciate that. I think it brings kind of a heart to the story. I think it brings a soul to the story.
Yeah.
How about 2 waffles for Wonder Park?
Okay. Captive State, which is based in Chicago. What's this one?
Yeah, it's kind of this cool little sci-fi movie, and not a sci-fi movie like Star Wars. It's not like some big blockbuster. We see Chicago 10 years after aliens have invaded, okay, and they've taken over the planet, and there's this small little rebel group in this neighborhood that wants to fight back. And so, we see John Goodman as kind of this detective who works for the aliens, who's chasing down the rebellion. We see the kid who's kind of inspired by it all and what's driving him and what's motivating him. And I would say 3 waffles out of 4.
Wow.
It's hard to follow what's going on the screen all the time. They kind of allude to what happened in the past, but they never really make it super clear. I mean, it's one of those movies that's just a little bit muddy. But I'll go 3 waffles.
And there's one more, which is kind of this one seems a little deep. 5 Feet Apart. What is this one?
Oh, God, let's just call it The Fault in Our Stars Part 2 or Part 3 or Part 4. Yeah, this has become the new genre that everybody copies. 2 teenagers who are ill. They both have cystic fibrosis. She's the rule follower, She's very meticulous about, taking care of herself and following all the rules. And he's the bad boy.
Wow.
Yeah. And all the melodramatic teen junk is going to happen. Yeah, I think I hate this movie more because I'm not a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah.
All right? It's very predictable. It's very cliche. Frankly, I should hate it more than I do. I'm going to say 1.5 waffles.
All right. Well, there's 3 you can take a look at, but Captain Marvel is still out there, and you really like that one.
Yeah, I think Captain Marvel's great. I think it's very exciting. It's the superhero movie you need right now.
Yeah.
It's an 8-waffle movie.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to just quickly, before we let you go, ask you about this Netflix documentary that's out there about Bill Murray. And it's Bill Murray Sightings. Have you seen it? And B, have you read anything about this?
I have not seen it. I love the idea, though, because it really does reflect the life of Bill Murray. I will tell you a true story. So I know a guy who, is friends with Bill Murray, knows him from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew him back when I was living in Washington, D.C., and he calls me. He goes, listen, just one day this summer, I'm going to call you, and you, me, and Murray are going to a baseball game. He goes, I don't know what day it is. he just does what he wants to do. He just shows up where he wants to, and you just go with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, he never showed up.
Well, he went with it, but he went in another direction.
There's always
So,
next
He
year.
went off and had fun someplace else. But,
He used to own was a part owner of the Utica Blue Sox here in Utica.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. He is
Yeah.
big into baseball. Yeah.
And currently owns a team somewhere. I don't know where it is now, but he and his brother currently own a baseball team, and he's often, during the summer months, he's oftentimes goes to the games and hangs with people. But this, I got to tell you, I didn't want it to end. If you get a slow moment, take advantage of it and watch this thing. I did not want this movie to end. It was really, really good.
I think Bill Murray is living the life we all dream of. Where he just kind of lives life. He doesn't worry about the future. He doesn't worry about the past. He just kind of has fun, and everybody loves him. I mean, isn't that universal? Bill Murray can walk into any room on the planet, and people love him.
That is pretty big because when you think about it, the average person walks in and kind of crashes somebody's wedding reception, and chances are there's going to be a bouncer that throws you out. But Bill Murray is the guy that is everybody embraces. They're getting pictures with him. They're loving the fact that Bill Murray is here, and he's here at our event. And it's on Netflix. It's about 90 minutes long, and it's well worth checking in on. Fred, you seem like you want to say something.
Yeah. There's actually, if you go on YouTube, there's complete 10-minute videos of him, Bill Murray, crashing house parties in Austin, Texas. He shows up at a bar, gets behind the bar, starts slinging beers no matter what the customer wants.
Yeah. How about, and that's the thing, too, and you'll see this in the documentary, and it's that footage, by the way, that makes up the documentary. But he was, in one scene, they asked him if he'd bartend. He said, sure.
Yep.
So somebody's asking for, I'd like a Cosmopolitan. Okay, you get scotch on the rocks. Yeah. I'd like he was just pouring stuff, and you got what he gave you, and the people were like, cool with it. It's really well worth watching. So, all right, Willie, thanks, man. It's wafflemovies.com. You enjoy St. Patrick's weekend.
All right, you too. I'll talk to you guys next week.
Got a break.